Good morning, Mary from the Edible Garden here, and it's a pretty beautiful day, the 17th of March 2020, and thought I'd just show you around a little bit of stuff that's been going on, a little faster than trying to take pics and do a blog post, and some people think it's more fun to watch video than read. So, good morning, Tink! How you doing, sister? How you doing, girlfriend? Oh, going in the house, alright. Front yard, about the same. Chickens over there are doing pretty good. The peach trees right here have bloomed. You can see they're done blooming, and pretty soon we'll start seeing some little peaches hanging out there where those buds were. Rose bush, looks like we're going to have some roses pretty soon. It's getting nice and big. The first iris of the season right here. Pretty white ones. I have white ones and purple ones that bloom early. And these are holdovers from my grandmother's time. They were just growing wild all over the yard. My grandparents bought my house in 1945, so they go back at least that far. Elderberry's looking good. This one probably doesn't get enough water in the summer. It could use a little more. Rose bush over there. Let's go see what's going on back this way. Morning, Jodo Bears. Are you wore out? My old tomcat was sleeping in the shed last night, or trying to sleep in the shed, and Jodo decided he didn't want him there, so he was up barking all night. My daughter brought me a bucket of potatoes that are sprouting, so we'll get those in the ground here pretty soon. It's a little late, but better late than never, and they will grow and make at least little new potatoes. I just got to figure out a place to put them. Driveway's doing good. Look there. Apple tree is budding. We're getting lots of little buds on everything. They'll be flowering here probably in the next few days. Walk up the driveway. Oh, looky there. There is some oregano that has not been eaten by chickens. So I will have to remember that on Friday when I'm taking orders and cutting for my customers. Hi, girls! Hi, girls! Some of these girls are looking for a new coop. Let me know if you're interested. Some production reds and a couple of speckled Sussex girls. Make a nice backyard egg flock for you. And the newest project, the shed. Let me get up here where you can see the whole thing. So, this was a tent shed frame. I built a floor. You can see that in some of my blog posts. And now we're framing in some end walls, getting some strapping on. I've got some tin for the roof. And I'm using some pallet wood on the sides. You can see a little bit right there. I didn't work on it any today. I've got a kink in my shoulder, so I thought I'd take it easy. Too much up and down the ladder and be in an awkward positions. And then I still got some couple of pallets and some scrap wood there. And there's a sheet of plywood and some more wood over there that some friends gave me, and I so appreciate their generosity because that's going to go a long ways for several projects around here. You know, we haven't looked in this little garden in a while, so let's see what's over here. Ah, well, we got some garlic. That's what those bigger plants are. The mice came and ate the tops off of them earlier in the season, so I'm glad to see them coming back. Looks like we could pull a few weeds and feed those to the chickens. The other 2 beds, pretty much nothing in them. The mice came or squirrels or whatever, and ate all of the spinach and stuff, so nothing up there. I'll try and get some more stuff planted up there pretty soon. I just got to figure out how to keep the rodents out. Let's see, junk piles. We still have lots of junk piles. That's all right. I gave a friend the last of the chickens that were in this pen. So now, this was the pen by the creek that was garden space, and it was a chicken pen, then it was a garden, and the last time it was a garden, it had root knot nematodes really bad. So it's been over a year since anything's grown in here, so we're hoping the nematodes are back. And there's some ducks. I still have my ducks in here. We're figuring out where they are going to go next so that I can turn this back into a garden space. This is where all those big compost piles have been. So, zoom back out here. There we go. I see y'all need some water. I see that. Hi, Tinkers. Are you following me around? You coming out, Tink Tink? Okay, stay in. I hear you. I did get out this morning and planted some little pansies over here in some pots. I was going to put them by the driveway, but the dog tends to jump in there, so I thought I'd just stick them in some pots here. The Rose of Sharon is starting to bud out. Awesome. That is such a pretty, pretty shrub. I'm hoping I can make some more. And look over here. This is one of my seedling peaches, and it's got a few little flowers on it there. Let's see. There it is. And they are so pretty. I don't know if it'll make any peaches this year or not. That's okay. It's a little small for having fruit, but it's only about 3 years old. So remember, plant your fruit seeds. Peaches, plums, apricots are all really easy to grow from seed, and they grow really fast. And I see our pomegranates that we bought last fall are starting to bud out right here. Awesome. This is a rose bush from the front yard that I grew as a cutting. Needs to get in the ground pretty soon. The potatoes, these are purple potatoes or blue potatoes that I planted in these big pots to avoid the nematodes. So they're sprouting and doing really good. Looks like we should water a little bit, even though we had some rain the other day. Daylily. Wow. We need to get this guy kind of separated and planted out. We just kind of take and dump it out of the pot and kind of split off chunks of it and plant them. If you can see the arugula, let's see if I can get this to go. There we go. The arugula is blooming, and we're letting it go so it can make a lot of seed for next year. And then the kale is going, and so that's another thing. We'll let the kale make more seeds. Lots of clover and little alfalfa plants growing in all of the garden beds. I cut them a little bit at a time for the chickens. The goats don't really appreciate them, which if you didn't see, we have 2 goaty goats. I don't know where they are. Where are you girls? Where'd you go, Posy? Posy, I hear you. Oh well. There's our daffodils in pots. They are doing really super. The tulip experiment in pots was not so good because They just didn't grow very long stems. Some of them were even a lot shorter than those two. And so they weren't really long enough to pick for bouquets. But I don't know why, so I'll research that, and maybe next year we'll have tulips for our spring bouquets. Let's see. In this little garden spot, let's see here. Looky there, the peas are coming. I don't know if you can see. There's lots of amaranth lamb's quarters in here too. I might pick those for greens when they get a little bigger. But right there, let's see. Right there, you can see the peas are sprouting, so that's really wonderful. We'll leave the bird net on for a while longer until they get up a little bit bigger so that the jays and cardinals and cowbirds and things won't pull them all out. What are you doing, sister? Okay, Tink's gonna go check for mice. More arugula blooming in this garden. I think there is a little bit of purple sprouting broccoli. Yep, right there. Let's see if we can zoom. There, can you see it? Purple sprouting broccoli. Not much. Just a few bites, but there is some. Side of the hill. The little Nankin cherries have been blooming, and they have bloomed like crazy, so I'm sure we will have a nice crop of little sour cherries come the end of May, first part of June. Things are popping up and sprouting all over. This is chocolate mint, which is my favorite mint for tea. When you get it hot, you kind of lose the chocolate flavor, but you get a really strong peppermint flavor. It's just really delicious. This is catnip or catmint. There's some, let's see, that one right there, that's cilantro. And these, I'm pretty sure that these are the poppies that I planted, bread seed poppies. So we'll see what they look like here in a few weeks when they bloom. You can see that little Nankin cherry is really going to town, blooming up a storm. Really happy with those. We'll be pruning them down some more again this fall because I would like to have like a whole hedge right here of them to help as a windbreak. Good morning. I hear you, rooster. You can see in that garden there, the calendula is blooming. Let's zoom there. There you go. You can see they're pretty. Yellow and orange flowers. Calendulas are edible. They make a yellow dye for food and for textiles. And they also have healing properties. People put them in salves and lotions and things to help with skin issues. Some rosemary that's blooming. Well, good morning, sister. Hi. What are you doing, honey? Oh, she's a pretty girl. She's a pretty girl. Let's see who's in here. Everybody likes to look at the chickens, so we'll see. Oh, we have some girls. Hi. Couple girls that had been in another pen. You can see they were getting picked on, so they came in here. These girls are a little nicer. Hi, baby girls. These girls are also looking for a new coop to call their own, and they are pretty much non-standard Orpingtons. They are a little too fluffy and poofy, but they're pretty sweet little girls. They do lay pretty good. Hi, honey. What you doing? Hi, sister. Hi, pretty girl. Yeah. Hi, sisters. So, they'd make a nice little backyard flock. There's about 8 of them in here. So, I just am getting too many eggs. Don't have enough egg customers. And I am going to need all this space for the next generation. So, because I just started up the incubator and put eggs in it. So we will be having chicks in 3 weeks. So there's some more things in here. Now some people call this stuff weeds. Okay. This, I believe that this is the plant that you see online about how it's a natural painkiller and stuff. It's a milkweed type plant. I haven't researched it myself to see if that's for sure what it is or tried it or anything. It does have a really bitter white juice in it. Some henbit. The chickens will eat it sometimes, otherwise, nah. Some more of those poppies are coming up. Not sure what that is. Some just little weedy thing. That's a wild mustard. Hi, Tinkers. Wild mustard greens are good. I mean, they're a little strong flavored when they're getting blooms, but you can pick this and eat this. It's really good. Just like a little stronger flavored than the stuff you get in the grocery store. Some of the sage is starting to perk up and look better. We've had some rain. The weather's warming up a little bit and it's looking pretty nice. It was looking pretty puny there for a while. Different kind of sage there. Just some hollyhocks down there. Rosemary, the ash tree is starting to come out. If you're local, I got a couple of ash trees a few years ago from Fred Jimenez, our worm man. Don't know if he's still doing that or not, but the tree's probably been there 3-4 years now. Oh no, wait a minute, probably about 5 years old. So it's probably, I don't know, 15-16 feet tall. So, and Indian tobacco, which is also called yellow bellflower, has a big wide leaf on it. It's kind of cold sensitive, so it looks a little pathetic right now, but it's starting to leaf out, and there you can see the leaves. It'll be growing up nice. If my friend Alan gave me that tree. A black locust that sprang up, it's starting to put out some little buds. If you don't know this plant, it grows like a weed around in some people's yards. This is called white horehound, and white horehound is an herb. I don't think of anything locally that looks like this, and you can always tell it's got white fuzzy stems. Let's see if we can, yeah, white fuzzy stems. It is a bitter herb. It is also traditionally used for coughs and colds. You can make it into a tea to sip, which is a little harsh. It's really bitter. I tend to make it into a strong tea and then measure it 1 cup of tea to 1 to 2 cups of sugar. Bring that to a boil to make a syrup. And then for me, I just get, normal colds and things, and occasionally it'll try to become bronchitis. And I found that taking a spoonful of syrup every time I start to cough really does help. It really does help a lot. So there's yarrow. Maybe it'll start blooming pretty soon. And then this is tansy, which helps keep flies and other bugs away. I've planted a little peach tree here, a little bare root peach tree. I put these little coops, these are actually little chicken coops, and I put them around the plant so when the chickens get loose, they can't destroy everything, because this in here is Agastaki, or and it's hyssop, and it smells kind of like licorice. To me, it reminds me of old-fashioned root beer, and I really love it in my tea. It just is really, really yummy. So, and I did plant some little, Has some flowers. Some were Shasta daisies. Some are called forget-me-nots. So I put them in here, and there's a little hollyhock volunteering. Let's see what else. Fig trees. Figs are coming. Fig trees are starting to bud out. Hopefully we don't have any really bad snow or anything. That's the little plum tree that I grew from a cutting like 2-3 years ago. 2 years ago, I guess, I planted that from a little cutting. It was a little stick. And now it's like, let's see, the fence is 6 feet high. It's probably 10, 11 feet tall. And it's bloomed for the first time. So we'll see what kind of figs it has, because, of course, I forgot to label the cutting. Okay. How you guys doing? Hi, pretty boy. Hi, pretty boy. Breeding pens. Oh, can you see? Let's see if I can zoom in there. Can you see that pretty egg back there? Yeah. I just put this pair together, so we won't collect that egg to hatch until, let's see, we'll give them a few more days to make sure the eggs are starting to be fertile. Some more girls. Oops, let's see. Where are ya? Can't see ya. Oops, wrong way. There we go. I'm still messing with this camera and getting used to it. So, some more girls. We just take the boy from one pen to the next pen. Because right now we're only using the one boy. And so he gets all the girls. And we keep the girls separated by families, depending on who their mothers were. And then that way we know who they belong to, where they came from, and which lines are doing better than others. Some girls just hanging out. Poor girls, these are the reject girls, and unfortunately, I think that girl back there is probably the one that has been laying the darkest egg. The really dark egg that I've been getting. But, she has a really super ugly comb. And she has a disqualification because she has comb sprigs, these little extra things that come off the back of her comb that shouldn't be there. So, no breeding for her. My tombstone rose, leafing out, doing great. Oh, look there, there's some little buds. Some little buds coming. We'll be blooming pretty soon. Really feels like spring's a little early this year, and maybe not. I'll just have to go back and look at pictures. Hi, sisters! Hi, girls! Everybody is doing good. They are locking the new nest boxes. They are using them pretty well. Yes? Well, hi, buddy. Did you lay an egg? Or are you just encouraging the girls to lay eggs? It's so funny when the roosters join the egg song. So, I see we got a little Leghorn girl down there. She's going to lay an egg. Huh. Hi, sister. Spring is really coming. Little peach tree that I bought from seed. It's 4 years this year. It's loaded with flowers. I'm sure that we'll have lots of peaches on it this year. We had 3 last year, but it snowed when it was blooming, and we've had better weather this year. So, not much else around back here. So, oh, there's another new peach tree that I bought. Another bare root peach. I got a couple of varieties because people are always asking me for freestone peaches. Peaches come in freestone and clingstone. Clingstone is where the peach sticks to the seed, and it's really hard to get it off the seed. And then freestone is where when you cut around the outside of the peach, you can pull the two halves apart and you just pop the seed right out. And people really like those for canning because they are easier to process. So we planted to go along with our seedling peaches. Most of our seedlings are clings, so, and I don't mind them, and they taste wonderful, so we'll see what we get. All right. Don't know what else I can show you except maybe the goats. There is, let's see if we can zoom up there. There she is. Where are ya? Okay, there's the fence. It's hard for me to see the screen. I don't know if you can see Fireball up there. She's laying up there in the brush. Don't know where Posey went. Let's see here. Too close. Let's go back. Back. There we go. So, just a little walk around. And mostly I'm concentrating on getting that shed done, because once that's done I can get the feed out of the living room, and that will be a big plus. And I can also have a spot to put up my tools and have tool space, a space to work on things. I can set up my vise. Boy, I could have used my vise for so many things this year and couldn't get there. So we'll be working on that pen some more up there where the goats are. We'll be putting at least a tarp and some shade cloth up on that hoop and working on getting things cleaned up. But right now, the big push is this shed, because I so need storage that's not the living room and a place to work. And so I will be really glad to get this done and be able to move things in here, and then I'll be able to work on some different things. So that's probably about it. Oh, wait a minute. Let's show you the other tulips. The other tulips and daffodils down here in these pots. But you can see how short and tiny the stems are. I don't know what causes that. If they didn't get enough water when they were smaller, or not enough, I don't know, dirt, whatever. So, but isn't this a pretty color? I love the color of that one. Kind of peachy pink and yellow. And there's a bright yellow one. So maybe next year I can figure that out and we can have tulips in our bouquets. Still got lots of daffodils though. So, this is Mary at the Edible Garden, doing what I can, where I am, with what I have. Blessings to all.